I'm ready. I'm ready for Freddy.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Kate Quigley. You're watching and listening to Date Fails. I am so excited for today. I have a new person on today. Well, he's not really new. You guys know him. He's my bestie. He's been here many times, and he is going to be a frequent co-host of mine now, which I'm very excited about. Erik Myers Comedy. What's up?
Bestie, Kate, why don't you just be honest and tell these people we're dating?
Erik,
I
we're
mean,
not
you took me to the
dating.
coffee bean. I feel like that was a date.
But I didn't pay, so it's not a date. I always pay on my dates.
I don't think that's true.
You know that it's true.
You always pay for men?
How often do guys pay for me? You know me. Like the last time a guy paid for me on a date, let me think. Actually, I did go on a date this week where the guy paid, but...
What?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
But he took me to
Marry
Combo
him.
Cantina, which is buy one, get one everything. So...
At least he paid.
He did, but basically he paid for his stuff, and then my portion was free because it's buy one, get one free.
Well, at least he didn't take you to like the Sizzler and say you were his daughter and try to get you on the kids menu again.
I love the Sizzler. I would love for a guy to take me on a date to the Sizzler.
Didn't we go to the Sizzler? Oh, we had that horrible fight at the Sizzler because I was embarrassed to take a pic. Kate wanted to wear a bikini at the Sizzler and me to take a picture of her in the buffet line, and I was too embarrassed. I'm like, they're going to kick us out. They're going to get mad. I wait outside. 45 minutes later, she comes out, and she has pictures of her sitting with the wait staff, and they're like high-fiving her. And the
I just
entire
want to
buffet
say,
was
in my
clapping.
defense,
In the bikini, though?
yes,
In the bikini, in the middle of Sizzler in Phoenix.
Amazing.
The reason that we got in a fight is because Erik promised if I drove him to the Sizzler, which was 40 minutes away from where we were staying, that he would get me a funny photo of me in the Sizzler in a bikini in line with the old people and my tray. And then when we got there, he chickened out and was like, I'm not doing this. It's too embarrassing. People are going to hate us. And he like ran out. He just ran out and left me alone in the Sizzler in a bikini.
I was scared.
I
There was
had-
a bunch of old people and kids and families. I was like, I can't do this.
They
You
loved
weren't
me.
even doing the hard part.
Exactly. All you had to do was and you didn't even have to be like, I told him, I go, you can stand way over there like a paparazzi and just shoot me from far away. It'll be fine. No one will even notice.
It is the hard part because I'm embarrassed and Kate doesn't care.
Wait, can I tell you the best part? That he's embarrassed and he thinks anyone is going to notice him when I'm at Sizzler in a bikini.
I know.
Anyway,
narcissistic.
enough of us. I want to introduce our guests.
Okay.
Can we introduce the guests?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm very excited to have you here. We just met. We're new friends, but I've heard wonderful things
Love
about
it.
you. Yeah, I've heard that
Love
you're
it.
amazing. You're a New York Times best-selling author, which I think is
Woo!
just.
Yeah.
I can't imagine writing a book. Like, I can't imagine having the discipline to finish a book. I write, like, Post-it notes and stick them all over my
Tweets.
apartment. Yes. So,
wow.
I can't imagine reading a book, much less writing one.
That is not true.
We're gonna
you
get
have
there.
read a book, but
I read Garfield on the Town when I was 8, and it was damn good. It was
he reads
exciting.
Calvin and Hobbes on the toilet.
I read
know that.
Garfield on the toilet, and I giggle my ass off. He loves lasagna. I don't want to spoil the book for you, but he loves it. Hates Mondays.
Spoiler
loves
alert.
lasagna. Spoiler alert.
Oh, God. Also, you have a podcast that we want to talk about called You've Got Issues. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna David.
thank you. So fun to be here. Enjoy being your new friend.
Thank you.
I'm not your bestie, but I would have taken the picture of you at Sizzler, just to be clear.
See?
It's not a competition.
Thank you. You could have been in it, by the way.
She's trying to out-bestie me, and I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't need this
I'm
I'm
competition.
feeling it, girl. I'm feeling it.
So I have two podcasts. I have one called After Party Pod that's been around for a few years, and now I just launched a new one called You've Got Issues with Anna David. So like the double meaning, like you could have issues with me, but why would you, right?
You seem adorable to me.
Well, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Right back at you. So I talk to guests about their pettiest issues, and then we try to get to what's underneath it, and it always works in like 5 minutes, and they're crying. Not always crying. But no, it's funny and serious. Watch out, I'm going to ask you to come on it.
I'm afraid I'm going to start crying on this podcast now. I'm afraid you're going to ask me
I've
something
got powers. I've got powers to make people cry.
Really?
Wait,
No.
so do you mean like if people are really irritated in the line at Starbucks, like, oh, this is such a long line, it really means that their dad didn't give them enough hugs? Like, it breaks down the...
Yes,
It
that's
literally goes...
exactly it. Okay, I had one this week where a guy talked about how he hates it when people wear pajamas on planes, which I've actually never really seen. I think I'm very like self-obsessed and looking at my phone on planes, like I've never seen it.
Right.
Anyway, it broke down to that when he was little, his stepdad would get mad if he was watching TV and like he even moved. The stepdad would be like, "You're just distracting." And it got to that. And
What? And now he's angry about pajamas on planes?
yes,
and it all
because
goes back-
he's jealous of like somebody feeling comfortable enough in his own skin and like taking up space that he would do something ludicrous.
Wow, that sounds like a new form of therapy because you have all that repressed anger and you're taking it out in bizarre ways.
Yep.
But then the root of it, it's always from like your first 5 years or your first like 10
First
years
10,
of life.
0
Yeah.
to 10.
0 to 10.
Every
Yeah.
terrible thing
Right?
that we're working through the rest of our lives happened then.
And it all goes back to your parents.
But my roommate hates mashed potatoes. He's like, I've never eaten mashed potatoes in my life. And then his mom asked him one time, and he had this repressed memory of her yelling at him for like spilling mashed potatoes when he was like 4, and he like teared up. It was like so, but it was like
What?
And he's like 50 now, and his whole life he's like, I don't know why I hate mashed potatoes so much. And then he remembered that, and it was like stored away in his subconscious.
That's insane to me. I mean, my mom one time made 9-bean soup that was so awful that I remember I ate it and then I threw up for like 3 days. I might have had the flu, you know what I mean? Like I might have been sick.
9-bean soup.
Yeah, 9-bean soup.
So it could have been any of the beans that were.
It could have been any of the
Who knows
beans.
which
Too
bean it
many
was?
And every
beans.
time I see beans now, I cry.
I feel like that's different than the mashed potatoes. Equally disturbing, but different.
I mean,
Like
if you-
9 beans or just any bean?
any bean that I see now, I tear up, you know, but I've forced myself because beans are a good source of fiber and I have trouble shitting. So I try to eat beans now to keep it regular.
Well, that was a lot of information.
Yeah.
I never wanted to know.
Deeper in a different way than I expected it to
How about the
go.
coffee bean? Do you get depressed in there?
No, the coffee bean is the bean that I love. That is the one bean.
Interesting. What do
yeah.
you think?
What do you think?
It's we can't even die. There's too much. We don't have
There's
enough
just,
time.
yeah, exactly how many days do you have? I mean, what about a green bean?
Green
This is a
beans
new
are
book.
okay.
This is a whole new novel. This is like a trilogy.
The bean.
Green beans are
bean.
good. Green beans are great because you can't see the bean. You know, it's a hidden.
Well, it's a different situation.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like beans. Just to be clear.
You don't.
My mom did not make 9-bean soup, but it's like a consistency thing.
Interesting.
And it's just gross.
You know what pissed
Yeah.
me off? I'm going to tell you, and this has nothing to do with dating, but I'm going to tell you
Great.
what pissed me off. My parents, every Friday, would get a pizza. Half mushroom, half pepperoni. I hated mushroom. They'd always eat the pepperoni, and the mushroom would be in the refrigerator for a week. And I'd be like, just order all pepperoni. I'm still pissed.
Aw.
And I cry at night.
I wonder if that's why you're single.
That's the only reason
I just
I
feel
can
like
think of.
that it all somehow it could be related.
That's literally the only reason I'm not getting laid is the pizza. I don't know what else it could be, Kate. It
Yeah.
baffles my mind.
No, it's
it boggles
definitely
my
the
mind.
that's the pizza.
It's the
I'm
pizza.
sure
Pizza's
it's-
fault.
And it's also why you couldn't take a picture in Sizzler because the trauma of like junk food. I don't know. I'm just saying.
This
I'm just
woman is
saying.
good. Where's this book? I am endorsing it.
Hold on, I need to introduce our other guest because
I want to talk about this pizza for another 20 minutes.
I want
Hold on,
him
just
to-
set the alarm. So anyway, we'd also no.
we're gonna let you go to therapy and deal with
need
pizza
it. I
after
need it.
this.
Okay.
Dude, okay. So this guy that I have on today, can I tell how we kind of met?
Yeah, good scan. I've been quiet as fuck sat here. I've just been sat over here quiet as hell.
And you have
Yeah.
the best accent of all of us.
Isn't he dreamy? He's
bit,
totally dreamy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Listen,
Eric's like, great, another reason why I'm single.
I have an accent. It's awful, but I have one.
so what, like maybe a year ago or so, I did an episode of the Playboy Morning Show. You did an episode of the Playboy Morning Show, like a few
I
days.
thought you were presenting it.
No, I'm not the host of that. I host
I
a
thought you were the
different
host
show.
of something.
I am. I'm the host of another show called Undercover on Playboy.
That's the one, yeah.
And so they had me on the morning show to promote my show. And then like a few days later they have Chris on and like they tweeted like Chris Saint on the Playboy Morning Show. And I was like, why was I not booked on that episode with that guy? Like they never book me with like hot guys ever. They always pair me up with like fat guys or like folk singers. Like it's never who I want to be with.
But they teased it because I was waiting in the green room waiting to go on. And then they were playing your things on the screen.
Oh, nice.
And I just, like a douchebag, pulled out my phone and I was like, Twitter, Kate Quigley, and like, ad. Who is
I
this
loved
person?
it.
So why are you guys not married now?
I don't, well, I don't,
You're both like Mutual Admiration Society.
well, then I think I tweeted at you or at Playboy. I tweeted and I was like, hey, Playboy, why didn't you book me and Chris Saint on the same episode? And he was like, yeah, why didn't you? And then that's what started our love connection. And then, I don't know, we were kind of going to get a drink and then I was busy. And then, I don't know,
You just never, it's hard trying to do that in this town because
It
you
is.
meet up with someone, you're like, hey, do you want to get a drink on Tuesday? And they're like, no, I have this thing. You're like, hey, you want to get a drink on Wednesday? Like, no, I have this thing. And normally when that happens to you, the third time you try, you're like, okay, I'm going to quit this and
I give
not
up.
be that stalker
You got to
guy.
get drunk and go to the thing. That's what happened. You have a dentist appointment. I'll
But
show
at
up
this time,
hammered.
people are actually busy.
That's the thing with me is that I'm so busy. I've actually sent guys so many times text messages that say, "Hey, I'm not blowing you off. I really am this." Like sometimes I'm so busy I don't get on a date for like a month.
Would you say that this is your date, you guys?
I was thinking this could be
I
like a
wouldn't say.
first date. No,
I'm vetoing it.
kidding.
No.
I'm always available.
But
Always.
wait, let me give you a better intro than just saying that I wanted to date you. Also, you were a star
It's
of
the
a show.
best intro ever.
Well, good. I'm glad you feel that way. Oh,
awesome.
good. I'm getting tingly. This is good.
Those beans.
Eric's face. Eric's.
All 9 beans taking effect.
All 9 beans.
You also are on a TV show called Tattoos After Dark, right?
Oh.
And you have a shop in Hollywood, right? A piercing shop. Do you do tattoos as well, or just piercing?
I don't do tattoos as well, just body piercing, and then a really weird thing called scarification, which is scarring the skin. It's like
that what's
cutting
on
the
your
skin with a
hand?
scalpel. No, that's there's a silicone ring under there with a little ball on.
That looks so painful. Does that hurt?
really
So for
does.
people just listening who can't, who can't see this, Chris has in his hand a ring. It looks like a condom. Like when I glanced at it, I
Yep.
thought it was a condom, and I was like, "That's where he keeps them."
A condom not in a penis, we should clarify.
Right, a
Not in
condom
it, yeah, not in
under
one.
the flesh, like under. So that's
I'm gonna get like a
interesting.
cup holder on one of my ass cheeks. Like when I'm at Burger King and I'm standing in line, but I want my Dr. Pepper. Can you do that? Can I get a reasonable
Right,
rate?
give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it like? So tell me, you're a celebrity piercer. I mean, you have a huge fan base. People, I see his Twitter, and it's all these girls like, I just want to come to LA and let Chris Saint pierce me. Like girls are crazy over you. How often? Like, tell me first of all, what is the weirdest thing you've ever pierced? Is there anything really weird?
It's a toss-up. There was a butthole, which was it was a little curved thing with 2 little pink opals on that was super
You pierced a
cute.
butthole?
What?
It was in between.
I didn't know your ex got a piercing. Oh, come on. Hey, I'll be here all week. Sorry. Never mind.
Right in between the vagina and the bumhole.
Oh, the tape.
The scrotum.
Yeah.
The taint. How much is a taint piercing? What if you've never done it before? How do you make up the price?
That's girl scrotum.
Yeah, you just kind of stand there. You're like, oh.
Had you never done it before? Wait, no.
No, we've done them.
Who would ask for that? That sounds so
Who the fuck-
painful.
The other one was what they call a 7-point vaginal corset. So it was 3 outer labia piercings and a ring at the top, and then laced together.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wait, so then is the vagina laced
Yeah.
closed?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
That was her point. She came in. She was like, she said,
I'm gonna throw
I have no control over my vagina. Can you please sew it shut?
Shut up.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I should do.
And I was
Can we
like,
get Kate one?
That's the most legal way we can do this.
It's like when people get their jaws wired shut so they won't eat, like an eating disorder situation.
Yeah,
That's
this
like
is,
a really
but more vaginal. This one.
intense, a little more vaginal.
Oh my God. So she literally.
That's
had
Hollywood.
a-
People, they're busy or their vaginas are sewn
It'll
shut.
stop you
There's
putting
no
food
dating.
in your vagina
Yeah.
too.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's
it does.
doing a thing. They don't have time for sex.
Yeah, not if your vagina's sewn shut.
I'm so horrified by the idea of sewing shut your vagina. What happens if you suddenly decide like you can't take it anymore and you want to have sex? Can you snip it?
I would say so.
You snip
Yeah.
the cord?
I would say so. Yeah.
But she hasn't come back
Give
for
it
that.
give it a snip. You can do that yourself. I feel it's a
Yeah.
at-home procedure.
Imagine how special
Hole
that
punch.
guy would feel. You like hand him scissors. You're like, baby, you're the one.
You're the one. I decree. That sounds like something from a Robin Hood movie where they have the chastity belt. You're like, you won the key. Wow.
It's like being reborn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then the sex was
umbilical
horrible.
cord.
She's like, I can't believe I cut my fucking trench coat off my vagina or whatever.
Welcome
it's
to my
called.
life, guys. No time for dating, but if you want your vagina sewn shut, I'm your guy.
I feel like girls that date you, do they ever get jealous of you always piercing like girls? Because you must pierce a lot of like private areas.
Yeah, like boobs, vaginas, but it's 50-50. Some girls I date will be completely fine. They're like, yep, that's your job, that's cool. But others will just get completely. You can see it welling up inside them after a period of time, and then they just can't take it anymore. And I'm like, yep, I'm probably not the guy for you then.
Have you ever pierced the vagina of a woman you were dating?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. To me, I don't know. To you guys, you're like, ooh, but to me, I'm like, it's my job.
It's
That's
nothing to you.
That's like, have you ever roofed the house of someone you've dated? It's like, yeah, I have. I totally roofed the shit out of that girl's house.
I was gonna get a clip on
That's
my penis.
A
Just to try
clip-on?
it out. Yeah.
Clip-on vagina?
A clip-on
Clip on
piercing?
earring.
Oh, earring. I
Ooh,
thought you
do
meant clip-on
guys
vagina.
get their dicks pierced?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys do.
does that feel
Why?
good on the girl? Tell me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm curious now.
Kate's getting very excited.
I kind of am because I'm like, does that affect you sexually if the guy has that?
It can, yeah.
does?
Yeah.
Well,
there are-
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to. I actually have no firsthand experience, but like for sure, supposed to increase
Sure.
pressure. I know. No, I'm the one who got her vagina. So thank you for not telling them that.
Sewn
I was the one who
shut?
got her vagina sewn shut. Yeah,
That
that's
was
really
you.
decent of you.
You looked like you would have that done. What if you
Yeah.
go through the metal detector at the airport? They're like, sort of pull your pants down. And
That
take
is
your
some
dick.
security check.
Certain types of metal don't actually go off. They don't. Those detectors are kind of trained to not go off if you have a plate in your leg. It like sets off a different alarm.
I'm gonna take over the plane.
That would be a great way to sneak something into the airport if you stuck it in your vagina and then had it sewn shut by Chris.
Can't look in there.
Then
You
how
really
are
gotta
they
want
gonna
that weed to go to Ohio. I mean, you really gotta want to get high to go to that.
That's serious
Yeah,
addiction.
like, I can't. I'm spending the week with my parents. I will sew my vagina shut. To
You
get
go
this
through all
brand.
that. You get off the plane in Denver. You're like, what do you mean it's legal?
Well, boy, is my face red.
Scarification is like a tattoo, but a scar.
Yeah, you cut the skin with a scalpel and then it heals in that shape. It's great.
I kind of like that. I think that's hot.
She's into it.
Did you invent it?
No, it's been around.
Why not?
Ron G
Why
has
is
that.
that a
He
funny
cut,
question?
he cut a bitch by accident. He's like, shit.
Well, that
Wait,
looks great.
this is a design. I meant to do this.
Yeah, get a little American Psycho. You're like, well, that just looks great.
Wow.
No, it's been around for like thousands of years.
Really?
Yeah, different forms.
That sounds really crazy.
Cool.
You think that sounds cool?
Yeah.
You should get that.
I would do. You know what?
I bet your name on your forehead.
I've always wanted to get a tattoo, but I have commitment issues.
So wait, then you thought, okay, so a tattoo I can get removed, but let me do something that I would take a skin graft for me to remove.
Right. Yeah. You got a point.
It's even more
That's a
commitment.
good point.
I admire the neck tattoo though, or the face tattoo, because that is commitment. That is
Yeah, that's a
extreme
serious-
commitment.
I got 4 tattoos and all 4 removed. So
Really?
It's not really about.
See? You can go
It's
back.
the-
Do you really?
You don't have commitment issues, and then realizing you have commitment issues. That was my tattoos experience. Yeah.
If I got a tattoo, I would just get one that said commitment issues. That would be my
good one.
or
That's
scared
so
to
funny.
commit. Wouldn't
That's
that be
so
a good
fun. Yeah,
tattoo?
on your neck.
Yeah.
Why did you get it removed?
Because I changed my mind.
Like, did you get them when you were young, and then you just?
Kind of. Okay, well, my thing is, like, I'm sober a really long time. Like, my podcast, my first one's about recovery.
Oh, I'm sober too.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
How long?
4 months, 2 days ago.
Oh,
But I've been in
congratulations.
I've been in and out of the
Yeah.
program for like since I was 21.
Oh, look, and you're only 23 now, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
22, you know,
So I've been
this
sober.
Botox is working.
It is. So I got sober in 2000. So
Oh,
it's been
good for you.
1,001
Good
years.
job.
But so when I was sort of bottoming out, I would be like doing coke for days and going like, I'm so depressed. How do I stop? I don't want to stop. I'll go get a tattoo. Like I don't know what I want. I'm gonna walk into some random place. So or I'm gonna go get a cat. This is what I would do. I would make these like permanent decisions
That's an
rather
addict for
than
you.
having
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
sober.
yeah, yeah.
So I go to treatment and I have 4 tattoos and 2 cats.
Shut up.
That's true.
Oh my God.
And everybody in rehab is like, oh yeah, how'd you got your tats like when you were like 15? And I was like, no, I got them like 2 months ago. And then I just decided to get them removed. And that's a really long process.
Yeah,
It's
that hurts.
expensive too, right?
I found a really cheap place, which I don't recommend. Okay. But I
She's
did
like, it's
it.
in a garage in an alley.
Did she use white out? What
But
did it
like
do?
you can see absolutely nothing.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to
completely
get.
gone.
Yeah, I want to get mine removed.
You do? I don't see. This is why I'm glad I haven't gotten any. Sometimes I let guys put them on me with like permanent marker. That's like, to me. That's it. I'll be like, if a guy's like, I love tattoos. I think they're so hot. I'm like, give me one. Like, draw one. Just draw one on. I'll
With a
keep-
Sharpie?
Yeah.
I like how you guys are like, I have 4, I have 5, and I want to get it removed. I have some of the weirdest shit on me, and I'm like, I'm fine with it. I think it's
How
okay.
many?
I
It suits
love
your,
it.
it suits your style.
Dude,
though.
I think
Yeah.
they're so hot on guys though. Like I'm so attracted to guys with lots of tattoos. Like when
We
I,
are on.
You're attracted to every guy.
We are watching your date, basically.
I'm not attracted to every guy.
Every guy. I think beards are so hot. I think clean shaven's hot. I think tattoos, no tattoos, skin grafts. The only thing you don't find attractive is if I had 9-bean soup and came over.
I've
You
never
just
said
taser me.
skin grafts are attractive.
Who said it sounded hot?
You did.
Yeah, I was like, I cut people
The
for it. and
scar,
you're
the
like, yeah,
scar
that sounds
tissue
great.
thing.
It's
you said
more
was
the
hot.
cutting that turns me on.
Oh Jesus! So if I had
It's a
scissors, would
thing.
that turn you?
Enough about me. This podcast isn't about me. It's about the
You're
guests.
just running with scissors, and she's just.
Oh, that's a book title.
So if you get a paper cut, you're like, yes, Jesus, yes.
Let's move on. So, are either of you single?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah,
Chris?
technically.
Recently not. I've recently started seeing someone.
I knew it.
You know it?
You
Motherfucker.
missed your shot.
Missed my window.
Yeah, I'll also be down to fuck.
What?
Wait, is it an
I said
open
I'll also be
relationship?
down to fuck. But
Is she
no.
listening? Probably not.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wait, did you say she'd be down to fuck?
No, he
No,
would.
I said else I would be.
He'd be down to
you
fuck.
would.
Oh, you would. Oh, I thought you said I'd also be. That's the accent problem. No.
Well, she's
I thought
pretty
you said-
open-minded, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Is she? Are you guys
I'll slip her your Twitter, see what she says.
okay?
We are hooking up.
I wasn't offering a threesome up, by the way, but now that you
I don't know what
offered,
Kate's offering. She's like a sexual gummy bear jumping around the thing.
I seem that way, but I'm actually like terrified. I never hook up with guys. How often do I hook up? Almost never. Tell the truth.
Okay, Pinocchio.
How many guys am I hooking up with right now?
Well, the guy.
One.
The one guy.
There's one guy.
Right now?
Kate's hooking up with this guy, and I were talking last night. I'm like, do you see that you with this guy in 5 years? And she looked at me like I asked her if she was planning to move to fucking Venus. She was like, 5 years?
Why do I have to see him and I together in 5 years to hook up with him right now? Some people
Yeah.
are short-term plans, and some people are long-term plans.
Carpe diem.
My
Thank
point
you.
being was, why are you like, you're like, I have so many feelings for this guy. I like this guy so much. And I'm like, well, if you don't see yourself with them in the long run, then
Yeah, well, I will admit that I have a bad habit of, this is my bad habit, which is when I have feelings for someone that I should not have feelings for because there's no future there, instead of cutting it off, I let it go probably a little too long. So sometimes way too long.
you like to date fucked up people.
I do.
You're attracted to fucked up
Who
people.
isn't?
I see now why you were attracted to me. This is great.
Are you? I'm sorry.
I cut people for a living. You're like, yeah, that guy. I could be with that guy.
I would approve of Chris. I've never approved of a guy Kate's dating.
He hates every guy I date.
I
Every guy.
have forbidden her to date certain people.
That means he loves you.
But
Yeah.
That does mean I
But
don't.
you're approving Chris because you know it's off the table, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think Chris is a genuinely nice
Be
guy.
honest. If I told you about Chris, if I was like, so I met this guy, he has this piercing shop and he's on this show about tattoos,
That sounds
and
horrific.
he's really hot and he loves to drink and he has a show called Drunk Shopping. We're gonna go out. What do you think? What would you say?
I'd probably be a little skeptical with that, like,
Sounds
summary.
horrific
But,
on
but
paper.
once you meet Chris, he's a very nice guy.
No, you are. You're very sweet.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be. I'll try to be nice. I try to be good.
I feel very judgmental. I'm sorry, but I'm just looking out for you.
No, you're not, because you're always right. All the guys you tell me not to go out with end up being gigantic douchebags.
They do.
Yeah, and there's never been a guy that you've liked because I've never dated a nice guy.
Well, the guy you were talking to on she never met this guy in person, and she was talking to him on whatever, Skype or FaceTime. And then this guy is loaded, and she's like, he wants me to come visit him out of state. And he's like, yeah, just get your plane ticket and come on out. And I'm like, he's not going to buy you a plane ticket?
Yeah, the guy makes like $10 million
Like
a
bet.
year.
That's how he keeps his $10 million.
Exactly.
Come on, $300.
I know, but I find that I have a friend this just happened to where he's like, yeah, the ticket. She's like, well, the tickets are kind of expensive, and he doesn't even take the bait. He's like, oh, that's too bad.
Well, to him, it's probably nothing. So he's like,
Yeah,
to us,
exactly.
that's like $5. And he's like, you have $5.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what it is. But I mean, it's like if you have that much money and you're that cheap at the beginning, how are you going to be in the long term?
Right.
I'm not like a gold digger, but if you can't spring for a plane ticket when you've got $1 million in your couch cushions, like that's crazy to me.
True.
I'm just saying.
Let's move on to Anna. I want to know what kind of guys you're into.
Well, I wouldn't say they're 100% healthy. Let's be clear about that.
Lordy. So Chris, another one.
But I wouldn't say they're like outward. Like, I'm really good at finding the ones that appear to be healthy. And then it takes like a year to understand just how unhealthy they are.
But isn't that everyone? Like, I feel like everyone shows their best side up front. I think let me ask you, this is a personal question, so
Uh-oh.
you decide if you want to answer this. How long do you wait before you sleep with someone that you just started dating?
Well, I'm of two minds about this. I mean, the truth is, I have slept with people right away, and it's worked out beautifully. And then I have not slept with people right away, sort of thinking like, oh, you can't give it up right away, you know, and it like hasn't worked out. So I have never really regretted waiting. And I have regretted sleeping with people too soon.
Yeah. I think that there's something to that because I feel like what happens is if you sleep with someone right away, like if you have that intense
She
attraction.
does this. She's like, if you sleep with someone right away.
I don't even
She's
mean
still
like the
doing
first date. I mean like, yeah, no, not yet.
She's still doing it.
And I keep touching him too. This is getting awkward.
I think it's been awkward the whole time.
No, I'm saying if you sleep with someone right away, not the first date, but even like let's say like I always try to wait till the third date.
That's the standard idea.
The third date.
Yeah.
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 So, but even by the third date, if it's someone you didn't really know, you still don't really know them much at all. You've met someone
No.
3 times. Then you hook up. Now, if the sex is amazing,
You're doomed.
right, because your brain, the girl brain,
Oxytocin.
thinks you have
Yeah,
feelings,
yeah.
and there's nothing there. You could have nothing in common with this person except like you make each other laugh, and then the sex is amazing, and then our brain starts building all these things that we have in common. Does that happen to men?
Yeah, because all of a sudden all of a sudden the sex is amazing. And you're like, I think is this love? Is this what I'm feeling? You're like, no, it's just like a really good blowjob.
Really? Guys feel that too?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to the person and not the gender. I know men and women that, women who don't do that and men who do that. But I would certainly not be like all men as soon as they have good sex.
Well, you can't
or
do that
just,
with
like,
women. You
think
can't
it's
go
love.
all women because,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know many women that can have amazing sex and not feel some connection.
I've had it. I had one, and
Tell me about it.
well, it didn't really even like make sense. This one, ugh, I can't even reflect on it. I meet this guy, and we are having sort of, is it a date, is it not a date situation? And he says to me, blah, 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 and my girlfriend, I was like, oh, shit, okay, I get it. And then later in the conversation, well, my girlfriend's boyfriend, and I'm like, oh, excuse me? And
Wait a second.
Yeah.
You meet him and you're on a date that you're not sure if it's a date.
Yes.
You're just hanging out.
And he says the word girlfriend, and I go, okay,
Got it.
I get it. And then later in the conversation, he says, well, my girlfriend's boyfriend. And I'm like, well, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, I'm in an open relationship. And so that was the situation going in. And let me, it was like the only time I've ever had a safe word. I'll just say that.
Wait a second.
What
Can
was
we?
the safe word?
I've heard that
Stop.
it's now the most.
Please God, get that out of my ass.
It's
What?
not that different than stop. It's like apparently it's like I thought it was all original for me, and it's like a common one. Yellow.
Yellow?
Yellow. Why is that a safe word?
Well, it's like stop, but it's like don't stop.
Yeah, stop is a terrible safe word. 'cause
Like slow down like a yellow
90%
light.
of the time,
Yeah.
stop means like do it, but I'll pretend I don't want you to.
Oh, that's a complicated issue.
It's
to pick up.
complicated.
Yeah.
I feel like if I say stop, that just means stop.
I dated. Well, I was going to say dated. I hooked up with this girl a little bit for a time after time, and that was her thing. She wanted to say stop a lot, but very forcefully say stop. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. And she was like, no, like, and she would like pull you and then be like, stop. And I was like, I don't think I can do this.
I did a
Yeah.
story for I did a story for Details magazine about it's like a whole thing about because I've written about sex for like Playboy and Details and stuff like that, and I did this story on women who have the rape fantasy, and I interview guys who like women who wanted them to break in and and like.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a whole thing because it sort of has to do with I think it had to do with shame and sort of like I didn't
I
want
don't know.
this.
I just didn't. I never went about that guy. If you say stop, I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, hands away.
Yeah.
I'm done. And hers was very. I had to have a conversation with her at the start and be like, when you're saying stop, you're saying that doesn't mean. And she's like, okay. I was like, this is the only time that ever makes sense and is ever a thing. And she's like, yes. I was like, cool, awesome, continue. But
That's so interesting. So I guess if you have a girl that likes to say stop, you just have to have a conversation like, hey, does stop mean stop, or is there another word for stop that you like to
it
use?
always does in any part of society.
Is it like opposite
Right.
way? Like go means stop? If I say keep
Say
going, that means
Hawkins.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's over, to be honest.
It sounds really confusing.
It sounds like it was stressing you out too much.
So she breaks up. She's like, stop coming over. You're like, so you want me to keep coming over?
Yeah, but it's just-
Wait, can we go back, Anna, to your... I have more questions
anytime,
about
yeah.
this. So this guy, though, he told you he's in an open relationship because I've had really hot guys that I've been hanging out with that then they'll suddenly tell me they have a girlfriend, but it's an open relationship. And I just assume they're lying. Because I think every guy that has a girlfriend says that when he wants to cheat. So when a guy says that, do you feel like you need to find out from the girlfriend for sure if that's true? Or would you be like, hey, that's on him and hook up with him anyway?
Okay, well, two things. This I knew was true because he's like, my girlfriend lives with her boyfriend. Like, this was an established.
Oh.
I know, it was a very specific situation, and I just knew he was telling the truth.
So weird that he still called her his girlfriend.
The whole thing was weird. And the boyfriend, the boyfriend knew about, the live-in boyfriend knew about him. Anyway, it was like this affair that went on for years, and it was the greatest sex of my life. And I think it was because I always knew the situation. And I mean, he didn't stay with her, but I kind of was like, I don't want to.
Oh, that didn't work out? There's a shock.
But I was like, I don't want to sit across the table from him and like eat linguine. That's like not what I want from
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
though he's a wonderful guy. But I will tell you one thing, like a Tinder situation that I ran across.
Nice.
Match with a guy and make a date. And then he says, I'm an MWM, which first of all, I don't know what that means.
Oh, I do.
Okay, but then
I don't.
I had to look it up. And in a polyamorous married white man.
Oh.
That's not what I thought that was.
Okay,
What did you think it was?
Because it's probably what I thought.
Oh, I thought that was he likes to have sex 2 males, 1 female.
That's what I assumed.
Ooh.
Man, woman, man.
Yeah.
I'd be into
No.
that.
I know. Don't use these like weird acronyms. Just say like I'm married. you
Yeah.
know? And also
He's trying to
say
confuse
that
you.
in your
Bio.
profile.
I agree. Although he probably doesn't because people would just keep swiping.
Well, yeah.
Wait, so he's married, but his wife doesn't care if he has a fling, or he's married and is cheating behind his wife's back, but just wants you to know
Either
about it?
way, not interested.
Yeah, I'm not
Jeez.
into married. I don't care if you're open. I don't. Oh, although I will say that if I was gonna have a threesome, I would want to be the guest in someone else's relationship.
yeah.
So then maybe a married couple.
In, out.
Yeah, I don't want to be around more than one time. Like I have friends who have threesomes and they'll have like the same girl like keep kind of coming back, and I'm like, how do you not? I feel like eventually that would get weird. Like there could be, unless only the girl contacted you and never the guy. I don't know.
I feel like there'd be a lot of issues.
Right?
But yeah.
But I think you and I are a little old fashioned. Like even the idea of having a threesome for me didn't really come into my head until like the last couple years. Like that's something I never thought about doing before.
It sounds intimidating. I don't want to disappoint 2 people. You know what I mean? Then I got to block 2 people from Facebook.
Yeah.
Would you have a threesome with your girlfriend if she came to you and was like, I really want to have a threesome but with like 2 men?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my God. Hit me up next time you're single.
What about a sock puppet?
Totally kidding. What about you?
Well, I had one with 2 men, not with a girl.
You did?
Yeah. Well, I was not sober for many years of my life. I never
Right.
had one in sobriety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, me neither. I'm kidding. No, wait. So, okay, so you're single now. Are you looking for a relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting out of something, so ish. You
Ish.
know.
Yeah. No one I feel is truly single after 30. You're either just ending something or
Right.
starting something new. I had a guy the other day tell me he's 100% single. And when someone says that to me, I'm like, that when you say 100% in front of single, I kind of feel like you're
Yeah.
probably lying.
It sounds militantly single.
It's weird, right?
Angry single.
I am 97% single.
Yeah.
My wife's going to die in 3 days. She's on life support at the house.
What's your like weird? You must have had like some crazy fans and weird dates or weird stories. Like, what's the weirdest date you've ever been on,
Weirdest date.
or worst?
I went on a date with a girl that had a fantasy about being cooked. So she wanted to. She got sexually aroused by the idea of being cooked in an oven.
What?
Yeah, that was a weird one.
So did you take her to like a tanning place? What
No,
did you?
the whole date was
That's
normal.
weird, dirty talk. Yeah, who's my TV dinner?
Yeah.
Who's my stove with lasagna? You is.
That's exactly like it was.
What?
We were doing like a normal date, but then she would want to be dirty talked to in the way of like, oh, I'm gonna roast you. It was weird. It was weird.
I'd be too embarrassed to say that to anyone.
I was like, this isn't gonna work in the end.
How can you keep a straight face if you're having sex and you're like, I'm going to baste you and put you on the skillet? I'd be
It
like
was
an
rough.
idiot.
How does someone come up with that?
I've never ever met anyone with that before or after.
Some people have weird...
Well, it's kind of sad. You know, I used to answer sex, dating, and relationship questions
Yeah.
on this show,
Yeah.
on Attack of the Show, and heard some weird stuff. But I just read this book where this girl, it's called So Sad Today. It was like based on a popular Twitter at So Sad Today. Why I'm promoting her book and not mine, I don't know. But
We can edit that out.
but this is kind of dark what I'm about to tell you. But
Good.
she has she's turned on by vomiting, and the reason why is that like her first memory of like her mother showing her love was like when she started to vomit. Because like as kids, you have all these sexual feelings. It's super confusing.
okay.
We live in this repressed society. And it's like foot fetishes are often, based on like things that you sexualized when you were a kid. Every question on Attack of the Show was about foot fetishes.
I can't do foot fetish. Can I say before I go anywhere that I'm not kink shaming at all? Like if you've got that and that's what works for you, go for it. But
Kink shaming.
I can't do feet.
Sounds like a really good name for a band.
Kink shame.
I feel like they would be like the Mighty Mighty
same
Boss Tones for
here.
some reason, but I don't know why.
Foot fetish people are like the most, I feel, because I host a show on Playboy TV where we explore all kinds of sex fetishes, right? Like actually I had to lace up a girl's back. Like we did a back corset on a girl. You do those, right?
Maybe it's the same girl and she does. Now people are fucking me in the back. I can't get away from these creeps.
With her skin.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They basically like put, I don't know, you could explain it better than me, Chris. They put metal things in the skin that you can lace, right?
Yeah, metal hoops in the skin and then you lace through it like it's a corset.
Are these people just bored at the end of the day?
I mean,
who
it's a
wants that shit?
fetish. It's a fetish. It's like part of the medical play
I wouldn't
genre.
even call that a fetish because even people that look at it and they're like, okay, that's not normally what I'm into. It's got that same look of a corset and it's a naked person and it looks attractive. I don't think even that's a fetish.
I have a question about
I'm
the
deep
back,
in it,
the
and I
back
don't even know.
corset. If you did the back corset, would it make me look thinner like a real corset? Because then I would consider.
No.
Okay.
Then it's got no advantages.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't
We're not
want
getting the back course.
I don't want it. All right, fine. I like you say we. Like we're not getting the back corset.
I would
We
rule
are
it
not
out.
getting the back.
He'd just turn up and then refuse to take photos of you getting it.
Because I'd have to hear about it for the next 20 years.
Oh God. But no, I was gonna say I did an episode on foot fetish and I had to let a guy suck on my toes. And I had to do all kinds of like foot worshipy things that people are into. Like they lay in a box and you stand on their face with your bare feet. It's called like smothering. And they're like so into it. But anyway, so the guy that sucked on my toes, he shows up at a lot of my comedy shows now, like whenever I'm in Vegas.
I bet.
These guys are obsessed, and like the stinkier and grosser your feet are, the more they like it.
Ew.
And guys always ask me now for like photos of my feet. Like I'm telling you, like if you want to make some money and you're a girl and you need a side income, you could literally set up a webcam business where all you do is show your feet. It's all you'd have to show, and you could make a living if you have nice feet.
If you Google me, you know how like the first word like that comes up is the
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah. Anna David feet. First thing. Not Anna David books.
Oh, when you type it in, you press space and the new
Yeah,
word
the
comes up.
next word is feet.
What? Why? How many photos of your feet? Did you know that there's a website for like celebrity feet? The only reason I know is because like somebody like tagged me, and there's like a couple Instagram posts I have where my feet are just showing a little. People post them up
Oh yeah,
there.
I've had my feet like my calves. There's a lot of like calf fetishes.
Really?
Why your feet? Are people just enamored with your
Do you
feet?
have great feet?
I have gorgeous feet. I'm not even joking.
Can we see them?
I have really pretty.
Are you going
show
to do
you
this to
feet.
me? I
don't-
can't stand feet, so I'm just going to look the
Okay,
other way.
so here.
You can lace up a vagina, but you can't look at someone's
I
feet.
don't know what's wrong with me.
What if I wanted my foot pierced?
Everyone's got their limits.
All right. You don't pierce feet?
No. I've never been asked to. Oh man, I can't do it.
You've never been asked to pierce a foot?
Feet and furries.
I should let him pierce my foot.
Kate.
Not on the show, but just like
That's
for
not,
fun.
Kate, no.
Eric's like, you're going down that road again, Kate.
Okay, sorry.
I've got to watch her.
Back to Anna's feet.
They're pretty.
But see, here's the thing. You have nice feet. I don't.
Right, that's when it gets weird, when it's like not pretty feet.
Yeah, I have fat toes, and they're too short for my body. Like, people say that. They're like, how do your toes hold you up? Because they're too short for your body.
Dude, being a woman must be living hell. I have fat toes.
Yeah.
Are you coming up with reasons not to like yourself?
I
Your
really-
fucking toes?
Fine
really
eating
do.
Cheetos.
You're more gorgeous than 99.9% of the people on the planet. She's like,
it.
my left toe is too short.
Do you have body dysmorphia focused on your feet?
I have body dysmorphia, yes, but
Well, all
only in the
women
feet.
have
Only
body
in the feet.
dysmorphia,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I mean,
And guys are like, you could be the ugliest, fattest, hairy back piece of shit. You're like, man, I'm looking good today. You get a haircut, and people are like, whoa, Kevin!
Oh
you
my
are stepping
God.
out!
He's
Did you
so-
iron your shirt?
He's so right. But
I shaved once, and it was the talk of the town. Meanwhile, you're tanning, all this shit. Nobody gives a fuck.
yeah, like, you know a huge difference between men and women? Anna, tell me if you do this or if I'm just completely crazy. Okay, I have days that are sex days where I know I'm having sex that night, so I won't eat the whole day so that I feel thinner when I hook up.
She's serious. She's like, I'm not eating today. And she counted her coffee bean coffee as her breakfast.
No, I do that. I eat early though. I know I'm gonna have to eat, so I eat early. So I'm not gonna eat like 4 hours before sex,
You do the same thing.
I do not. I nothing stops me from eating.
Really?
Yeah.
so I don't feel bloated.
I'm the same because if I feel fat, I don't want. And also, I've canceled like amazing sex just because I feel a little bloated. A guy would never.
That I feel like I've done. Well,
A guy would fuck you while he's eating like boneless wings at Applebee's. Like, "Oh, shit on their face. Get it to go. Get it. Wrap it up. Guys, there's nothing stopping us from having sex.
That's what I'm saying. If you have like a girl, like I'm supposed
We
to
could be in the
have.
hospital with third-degree burns. And we're like, just give me the ointment. Everything will be fine.
You would cancel. You would cancel if you were bloated.
If I felt really disgusting, yeah.
Yeah. See.
so is it bloated or fat or kind of one and the same? Like, is it a physical thing or how you think you look?
It's how I feel. Like, if I feel like, okay, for instance, like I'm supposed to have sex tonight, okay? But I haven't hit the gym in a few days and I feel kind of gross. So I kind of want to cancel.
I have a problem planning sex like that. If somebody's like, we're going to have sex at 8, I'm not going to be into it. I need to be like
I'm supposed to.
surprised with it.
Yeah.
I know, but you know what? The person I'm sleeping with is really hard to schedule.
I got no problem with the plan.
Lord, don't
We've
get me
been through this
started on
before.
this. Don't get me started on this nonsense.
We're not going to go into it, but the point is, like, when people are very busy, sometimes you have to schedule. I find when I get really busy, if I don't have sex, I get cranky, really cranky. Like, are you in your 30s?
Sort of.
Okay.
I have been in my 30s.
My God, well, you look like you're 30.
Thank you.
So I'm like ravenously horny.
Oh, my sex drive changed like remarkably
Yeah.
because for so much of my sex life I didn't even know what I liked, and my body just hadn't really gotten to its full potential.
Yeah. And so like now I have
I like
to
how
have
she
it.
said that. Like it was.
Yeah.
I got a little excited. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I make time. I make time for it no matter how busy I am, but I have to schedule it sometimes because I'm busy. And if the person I'm sleeping with, I like to sleep with people that have a lot going on. Like nothing turns me off more than I went out with a guy the other day who works from home and he doesn't really do much. And he's like, I have tons of free time. Hit me up whenever you want to hang. Like
worst.
that's a turn off to me.
Yeah.
That's like a big turn off.
So part of your dating, so part of your like sexual fantasy is the, hey, you want to go out Sunday? No. You want to go out Monday? No. You want to go, and then actually finding an hour window where you can get it on.
Well, my favorite sex, honestly, is when it's spontaneous and unexpected. I mean, but it's just like that's rare for me because I don't hook up with randoms very often. And so, like, when I fantasize, I always fantasize about like the first time I hooked up with someone who was great. But it's usually like a few, like, I don't know, like the last time I had like a hot spontaneous hookup was in Vegas, like maybe 6 months ago. And it was so hot. And I still masturbate to that memory.
My guy that I was talking about is always my, like, I've dated many people since, and he is always my, like, he will be the continued
You go
fantasy.
back to him.
Always.
Do guys do that? Do you always go back to
No,
like...
you like more like not women you've dated, but I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you. But more like, porny stuff, right?
So we're talking about
Masturbating.
thinking
yeah.
about things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when you masturbate, what do you think about or use?
Pornhub
Yeah.
Oh, so porn. So she's right.
specifically. Yeah.
No, but she's saying like women, we will think about guys we've hooked up with
Yeah.
more, I think, than men. Where men will use someone that they like wish they could have. Eric?
I look at pictures of myself. Is that weird? In different positions.
Not for me, it's not.
There's me at the mall. Woo! Look at me shopping. Look at me shopping for socks. I'm so hot.
Oh, good Lord. Well, this has taken a fantastic turn, I think.
I think yes, it has.
I knew it would go down this road.
It always does. It's my fault. It's because of my age. I have sex on the brain all the time.
I've
And
actually never masturbated.
oh my God. Wait, who was a guy I was dating that told me there's a guy I was dating who told me that he never masturbates
I think
ever.
that's a lie.
That's a
That's gotta be.
Well, I
face
definitely
lie.
have met guys who are like on fasts and like saving their chi. I mean, we live in LA. Like
Fasts?
or like not doing it for a while.
Sure, I did that once for a week.
please.
I
I
have a
would,
friend.
I would
Hey.
kill somebody.
I have a friend who has a girl who every time anyone talks about masturbation, she gets a weird face and she's literally disgusted by the concept.
Yeah.
That's how this guy was. This guy, he told me that it grosses him out and that he's like turned off by the idea of like getting himself off. He's like, why would I do that? To be fair, this is a guy that can get plenty of women. This is not a guy that's like struggling to get laid.
Damn. At that point, you're just like, don't be a dick. Just do it. don't come and tell me
I
how
don't
you
try.
don't need to.
If somebody said they don't masturbate, I wouldn't ever speak to them again. I wouldn't trust them.
So you think he was lying?
I don't know.
This is by the way, this is the.
I don't think you would lie. Why would you even say that?
I don't know. Why would you say? But then my thing is.
People are weird. People could say anything. People could do all kinds of crazy shit.
But
I don't know.
but then
is
also
this
the
guy?
same guy, he would always ask me for photos. So then it's like, why do you want photos if you're not masturbating? What are you doing with them?
Well, I'm not Sherlock Holmes, but none of this is fucking adding up.
He's just making sure everything on IMDb is current. That's what he's using the photos for.
I love photos. Can you send me naked photos that I'm not going to masturbate to? I don't know why he would say that.
I don't either.
I don't know why you would lie about that.
I don't either.
Whatever. It doesn't mean
It's
he
weird.
didn't.
It's weird.
It is.
If he's not masturbating, it's probably women he's planning on killing.
Yeah.
That must
I mean,
be-
people are weird. I don't know.
But I have
Oh,
known
good.
women who have said they have never like had an orgasm.
Yes, me too. I've met girls like that.
Yeah.
You talk to my ex?
Okay, come on.
But
There are a lot of
as a
women.
guy, when someone says that, do you not be like, in your brain, you're like, right, I'm getting in there. Like you feel like a challenge. You're like, I could be the one. Let's do this.
Fuck that. I don't want a challenge.
Can I say something about that? This is true. This is a real story. I tell every guy that no guy has ever been able to get me off by going down on me so that
'Cause
they
they try not, yeah.
so much harder.
That is an amazing idea.
Yeah,
Hey, you shouldn't tell your secret.
I know.
don't
I'm sorry, but I tell every guy, I'm like, no guy ever can get me off like this. And then they all feel like so good about it, and then they want to do it all the time.
My friend, this comic from Virginia, he used to tell women, he's like, I don't come from blowjobs. I never have. And they'd be like, well, you'll, like, it was almost a challenge. He used to do that. He said it worked a
Oh,
lot.
so that's just like a common trick.
I got to know two people that do it.
I had Cat Williams on Date Fails one time, and he said he never comes with a girl the first time he has sex with her on purpose because he wants her to think about it like a mind fuck so that she's like, why didn't he come with me? And
Wow,
then
that's
she
evil.
tries harder forever.
That's crazy.
Do you think?
That's
A little
evil.
bit.
I think it's kind of genius.
What about guys who fake orgasms, like wearing condoms?
guys do that? Fake orgasms?
That's a thing.
I've done it not wearing a condom, and
Why?
then wondered how they didn't realize that I faked it.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
What? Why?
I was like, how do you not
They're
know?
just done. You
No.
know, the same reason women do it. I don't do it.
Because I was on medicine, I was on Zoloft or Prozac or Paxil, and I couldn't ejaculate. So after a while, I didn't want them to feel bad, and I didn't want to go
that's
through
so
the. So I was
sweet.
just like, oh yeah,
That's really sweet. That
I
you
get into it too. I'm like, oh woo, like I don't know, shit I would never actually do. Woohoo! Good job! I had stickers. Gold stars.
Yo, good job.
I yelled yeehaw.
Do you,
Touchdown!
Why'd you fake it?
It was taking a while, and she looked like she wasn't having a good time. Like it looked like, I don't know if it's all women, but some women that I've had sex with, it gets to a point where it's painful. Not because of a dick side. Like I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like it gets to a point where it just becomes uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, she's had fun. Like a few. She's done her
She's
thing.
done.
I'm waiting. I was like, and no, this is not good for her anymore.
That's really sweet that you guys fake it though, because like a lot of guys will just be like, I'm good, and then as a woman you're like, oh,
That drives women mental.
Well, it's because here's the
Because they're
thing.
like, what did I do wrong?
You don't want them to feel bad, and it's not their fault. But you could be
Yeah.
mentally stressed out. You could. It's just
it doesn't bother me when a guy doesn't finish as long as he gets me off a few times and he's okay with it. I'm fine with it. What do I?
It's a good attitude to
Kate
have.
doesn't give a.
What do I care?
You're like a big dildo to Kate.
Well, look, because if he doesn't finish, I know it's not my fault. I know I'm not a bad lay. It's on him.
It can be give and take.
Maybe he
too.
jerked off 3 times that day. I don't know what he did.
It can be give and take though. Sometimes you cannot finish, sometimes you can, and it makes. I think especially if
evens
you're in a
out in the
relationship,
end.
it makes the whole thing more comfortable, and you comfortable with each other that way.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, as long as I always finish. That's what you said, right? Just kidding. Listen.
I was great at faking it. I threw yogurt on their face. Woo! They're like, why is there blueberries in this? I'm like, I'm a vegan, bitch.
We have to wrap this up. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here. I love you both.
Oh, is it over already?
Yeah, it's over. We have to wrap it up. We're out of time, Eric. But luckily you'll be back for more. Are you...
Was I talking too much?
No, you were fantastic.
I haven't got out of the house much.
Guys, please follow Eric at Erik Myers Comedy, Chris at Saint Piercing, and Anna, it's at Anna B. David. And one more time, Anna, your podcast, tell them where they can find it.
It's called You've Got Issues with Hannah David. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud and Stitcher. And you can go to the Issues with Anna website.
Oh,
and find out everything.
I love that. And Chris has a great show. I forgot to mention up top called Drunk Shopping. Did we talk about drunk shopping at all?
No, I can do it.
Yeah.
Drunk Shopping Network live from Meltdown Comics on Sunset Boulevard every 8:30 and every Sunday night at 8:30. Live celebrity guests, live comedic guests. They sell their shit and they do it drunk. We also do that as a podcast that goes out on iTunes, Google Play, All the Things podcast with Chris and Morgan, Google Play, iTunes. Yeah.
I love that. Well, you guys were both great. Thank you so much for being
Wait
here.
a minute, do I get to plug anything?
Yeah, no, Eric, of course, please plug everything.
Court-ordered cartoon, my cartoon show that I'm trying to pitch right now. You can watch the teaser trailer on iTunes and Funny or Die.
Yes, and you should, because it's really funny. It's so funny. I'm
Thank
obsessed
you.
with it. You're welcome. Guys, you know you can follow me at Kate Q Funny, and this has been Date Fails. See you next time. Bye.
Yay.
Yippies!